Do you ever find yourself wondering why your homemade quick bread overflows during baking, or why your beautiful pound cake comes out dense in the middle and oddly dry on the edges? The surprising truth behind achieving those consistently perfect, golden brown loaves often comes down to one simple but crucial detail: the size of your loaf pan. For nearly every standard baking recipe you will encounter, the most versatile and recommended loaf pan size is either 8.5 inches by 4.5 inches, or its slightly larger cousin, 9 inches by 5 inches. These precise dimensions are truly essential for success, providing exactly the right amount of space for your batter to rise beautifully without spilling over, and guaranteeing even heat distribution throughout your delicious creation from crust to center. Understanding why pan size matters is fundamental to becoming a better baker. Imagine pouring too much batter into a pan that is too small. As the leavening agents activate, the batter will inevitably bubble up and spill over the sides of the pan, creating a sticky mess in your oven and a stunted, misshapen loaf. On the other hand, using a pan that is far too large for your recipe causes the batter to spread out thinly. This results in a loaf with an overly dry and brittle crust that bakes much too quickly, while the center might struggle to cook through, remaining dense and raw. The critical factor here is the volume of the pan, which directly dictates the depth of your batter. This depth, in turn, profoundly influences the baking time, the texture of the crumb, and the overall rise of your finished product. To confidently select the correct size, your first step should always be to carefully review the recipe instructions. Most well-written recipes will explicitly state the required pan dimensions. If you own several pans and are unsure of their exact measurements, or if a recipe does not specify, it is very easy to measure them yourself. Simply grab a standard ruler and measure the interior length and width of your pan at its top rim, from one edge to the other. If your available pan does not perfectly match the recipe, you might need to make a small adjustment. For a pan that is slightly smaller than specified, you can reduce the amount of batter by about 10 to 15% to prevent any overflow. If your pan is a bit larger, you might need to add an extra 5 to 10 minutes to the baking time, carefully monitoring the loaf for doneness by using a toothpick test. Here is a clever trick that many experienced bakers use to demystify pan sizes. You can accurately determine the true volume of any loaf pan, even those without marked dimensions, by carefully filling it to the brim with water. Then, gently pour that measured water into a liquid measuring cup. As a general guideline, a standard 9 by 5 inch pan typically holds around 8 cups of water, while the slightly smaller 8.5 by 4.5 inch pan usually accommodates about 6 cups. Knowing your pan's precise volume allows you to confidently scale recipes up or down, or to substitute different pans when your ideal size is unavailable. Also, remember that the material of your pan plays a subtle yet significant role. Glass pans, for instance, conduct heat more intensely than metal ones, often requiring you to reduce your oven temperature by 25 degrees Fahrenheit or to bake for a slightly longer duration. Embracing this understanding of the simple yet powerful relationship between your recipe and your loaf pan size will truly empower you to consistently produce beautiful, perfectly baked goods every single time. By paying close attention to these seemingly small details, you will effortlessly elevate your baking from an unpredictable outcome to a reliable success, creating delightful, evenly cooked loaves that are absolutely just right and ready to impress.